Hello, folks. Welcome back to VCV Rack Instruments and Effects. I'm your host, Dr. Lawrence W. Moore of the Wayfarer Project, and I got something cool today. This is continuing to follow up on one of my viewers' requests from Luis, who wanted to see if we could at least model some of the functionality of the Rebirth RB-338. The last episode, I just kind of put my toe in the water as far as like making like bass lines that you could execute from like holding a key down, doing a little cutoff filtering on it, and then having that as a pattern, trying out the sequencer as well as an arpeggiator. But then, what I wanted to do was like, all right, let's hold down that key, get a drum groove, and then also bass, drum and bass, holding down a key, being able to change keys for chord changes and have all these different effects happen with the cutoff filter and stuff. And I'm going to quick show you what I came up with. And then what we'll do for the rest of the episode is we'll build it together so you can see how it all works. And then if you want to use different modules in different places, you can, because you'll know how to put it together. So in any case, first of all, I'm going to switch over here and do this. So here, I'm just going to hold down a key. So we got a drum beat, we got a bass rhythm, and I could use the pitch wheel to go. All right, and then I can use some mod wheel to do a little cutoff. And even change the bass note a bit. All right, so excuse the performance there a little bit. I mean, I'm just doing it on the fly here, not going to do any editing, but you at least see the functionality. We're getting there. And this is definitely a cool advance. And now we're going to build it together so you can see how this is made and maybe put some of your own modules in or do things a little bit differently to customize it for yourself. But in any case, Luis, I hope this helps a bit. And Mati, I know you're out there. Thanks for your support. Yeah, so if you dig this instrument or you have some suggestions on it, please feel free to leave a comment. We're trying to, build some great sounds here together as a bit of a community in a way. Starting small, but small and mighty. So anyway, here we go. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to start with a new patch because I think if we build it together, you'll understand it better than just trying to do a screen grab and hook all things up and get it kind of right. And plus, there might be some things you want to change. Okay, so I just got my MIDI in. It's already set for my keyboard controller. I got the audio out here already set for my outputs. The first thing I'm going to do is put in a sequencer and a clock. Now there is a library, one of the brands in the overall community library is this one here. And it's SV Modular. Not all of the modules are free in the SV brand, but these are. And if you go to the VCV Rack library and select that brand, SV Modular, you can see all the modules. Hint, all the grayish ones that look like this are drum and sequencer oriented. So those are the ones that I downloaded. I'll explore some of the other ones later, but right now on this topic, these are the ones I downloaded, especially this sequencer. Now, I'm going to zoom out. All right, the sequencer's in. Not where I wanted it, but it's in. There we go. I'm leaving a little bit of space here for the clock. The SV modular also has a clock. Its name is GNOME, Gnome. So if I type that in the search, it's pretty much the first thing that comes up. Looks like this. Okay, so let us explore this a bit. This is the heart of it. This is what gives us our drum rhythm. I'm going to put the clock right there. I'm going to put the sequencer right next to it. Okay, the way this works is you do have your BPM setting up here. You do have a dial for it. The running of the clock can be initiated from a CVN or clicking this button. It also has a width setting, which we can talk about later. But right now, there's different divisions of the clock that you can hook up. For the beat and groove I was making, you're welcome to experiment with this. I'm going to go with the 16th note here, because our sequencer really is divided up into 16th note fragments, at least the way it's numbered. I guess you could do things that are outside of 4/4, but you know, if you do the math and so forth for it, but it's really laid out to be one measure of 4/4 time with 16th note at the quantization level right here, 4/16 notes per beat. And up here, you can actually store multiple patterns to be in an 8-bar phrase. You see there's 8 of these. You could put numbers in here for whatever pattern you make. Like right now, this would be pattern 1. And when we put a pattern in, we can then press the up button, go to pattern 2, and put a different one in. And then we could have 1 and 2 for a 2-measure pattern, and it'll loop those two. You can do up to 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 16th here. Basically, this is like saying 1 pulse in the clock output per measure. And you see this light up less frequently than the rest. This is every half measure, or half note, and this is every quarter note. And this is every 8th note. This is every 16th note. And I found, at least from my rhythms that I've been working with, that 16th is what I want to go with. So I hooked that up to clock there. Now you see, this is already on. It's on run, and this is already on. But we're not hooked up to anything, so we're not doing anything. The different lanes here are labeled already. I mean, the labels don't lock you in. It's just a guide. You can put your kick, snare, close hi-hat, open hi-hat, tom 1 and 2 here, and then there's an auxiliary for whatever you want. You could hook these up to whatever kind of drums you want. You don't have to stick to that. But conveniently enough, this library does have some modules that model a CTX kit. Let me see if I can type in CTX and get them. I might have had a typo there. Nope. Let's go down and find them. All right. So here they are, the SV modules. They have individual things for like closed hi-hat, bass drum, all individualized. Actually, there's 2 per. So that's interesting. But what I was playing with earlier was CTX. Yeah, it's yeah, it's CRT. It's a CR7. CR7 8. The CR7 is the name, and the 8 is because actually, when you put all these modules out, well, when you use this module, you can have like 8 different percussion sounds from each module. So what I'm going to do is make three of these. So we got a total of 6. I could put another one here and we'd have a total of 8 drums. But if we look over here, if I want to line them up like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, I may only use 4 here and not really bother with toms. Although today, for a little adventure, maybe I'll add some toms. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And then the aux 1 lane I'm going to keep open for my bass. Alrighty, so let's do this. Let's take our kick, bottommost lane here, kick. They call it bass drum, kick drum. And I'm going to hook up. Green is the color I like to use. I needed to zoom out there because sometimes my mouse isn't as accurate when I'm using the zoom. So, okay. Oh. But my mouse has been misbehaving for a while now. Don't have money for a new one right now. Okay. So let's go down here and say this is our bass. So gate out. These are gate signals per each lane. And we're going into the gate in here. Now you could use other drum modules, you know. If they have an input for trigger, that would probably work. If the module's input is a trigger, that would probably work. This gate does send open and close, though. But if the module has a trigger, it'll still work. If this was a trigger and the module had a gate, then that might be something you'd have to work further with. But in any case, these are meant to work together. So gate to gate. And then here's our output for our audio. Now, just looking ahead with what we're going to put in here, I'm going to use one of the Mind Meld mixers. This is also a library of free modules, and the Mind Meld 8-channel mixer as well as the 16-channel are both free modules. Here's the 8-channel. So we have an 8-channel mixer right here. Now you could use another mixer. I mean, there are other mixers out there in the wider VCV Rack community. Brands of modules. But I like this one. So I'm going to put our bass drum here. Going to left input, which will automatically, since there's nothing in the right input, treat it as mono. It'll be centered and stuff. There is an input for volume and pan, which will be like level, you know, that we could execute if we wanted to, but I'm not going to have that be like some sort of real-time effect. It's something we could set up mixing-wise here, though, using the pan and the volume knobs to balance out our kit. So that's why it's always good to go into one mixer that has as many channels as you need for what you're doing. Now here, you could turn the knob or just use numbers. Just make sure it's on 1, which it was. So this is going to be our bass drum. And what I'm going to do is put in some hits. We'll just put 1 on each quarter note for now. Just a straight 1 for it. You see it's coming through. We're not hearing it because of not hooking it up to the output yet. I'm going to turn this down just to make sure. I don't want to take chances that I'll damage your ears. I'll fade it up gradually. So we're going to go out our master out, the left out, since we are mono right now, 1 channel. Come on. Come on, mouse. Don't fail me now. You're going to fail me now. Ugh. Okay, there we go. Now turn the master fader up. Yep, we could turn it up to unity and we're fine. That's all we're getting out of this. Looks like it could give us a little bit more, but there is no internal volume on it. There is tune. I'm turning the wrong one. This is a separate drum. Each module is really 2 in 1. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, brother, please. My mouse, this is... Actually, there sounds good. And then here, this is the selector for which part of the kit you're using. This module is on 1, which is the bass drum. And they basically conveniently line up with their order here. You know, these modules are from the same brand, SV modular. So this I'm going to set to 2, which should give us a snare. I'm going to hook up the gate. And my mouse will fight me. Oh boy, come on. What I will probably do after hooking this up is hook up the rest. Because yeah, my mouse is fighting me a lot here, and I don't want to take time from you with me fighting my mouse. But anyway, snare is hooked up there, and we're going to hook up the snare output from here. Come on. And then went to select mode. Yeah, after this one here, after I hook this one up, I am definitely going to, well, you see the idea. I'm going to do this I'm going to pause the video and hook these up, the rest of these, and then I'll tell you exactly what I did so you can do the same if you want to. All right, hold on. Okay, I got all the patching done. It actually worked out better when I patched from here to there because, like, somehow, for some reason, going from the mixer, it just did, like, I can catch the cable more easily somehow than when I was doing it from here. But I do have mouse issues. I mean, I've been having that for a few weeks now. It's becoming ridiculous, but yeah, I'm kind of, income is a problem right now, so I can't quite swing that. I should change it out for a different mouse that I already have, I think. But anyway, enough of my problems. Basically, from bottom up, we could think of this as track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bass, snare, closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, tom 1 and 2, as they are labeled over to the side, or tom 2 then 1. And basically I hooked them up to, I'm treating this as bass drum here, or 1, snare drum here, or 2, and you can right click on the knob and just type the number in to be exact about it, rather than just dragging over it. This is 3, which is closed hi-hat, 4, open hi-hat, 5, tom 1, or actually tom 2, and then 6 is tom 1. What's the difference between tom 1 and tom 2? Well, we'll hear. Basically pitch. One is lower than the other. I'm assuming it's tom 2. But anyway, now we can paint in some things, and since we are set to 1, this is our measure 1, or program 1, and this is what we're going to get. And so I could paint in like some snare drum. Now you could use drum sounds other than these. I'm just using these because they are from the same brand and sound pretty good. But other drum modules might give you a little bit more control over the snare. We do have a tone control here. Yeah, I'll go with that. How about that? And then we have our hi-hats. I'm going to put them in kind of like as eighth notes. This is a closed. And then maybe what I'll do here on beat 4 is do an open instead of a closed. So I'll have this checked off instead. And they, of course, have pitch control too, or tone control. Now the initialized one is lowering the pitch seems to have it sustain longer as well, so let's go with that. Alrighty, and then let's see what our toms sound right. Maybe do one hit of each on the off beats here. Tom 1, Tom 2. Okay, I'm not hearing anything. The gates are hooked up. You are 5. And you are 6. They are hooked up there. Oh, it's showing here that there's signal coming from them. It's just really quiet. Well, let me do this. I'm just going to take out these notes temporarily. Oh. Well, one's not a tom. Well, I guess I was just assuming it'd be Tom 1 and 2. But it looks like this is Tom, and this is... How about, since this is not a tom, more of like a shaker sound, we'll do that. Let's put 2 toms there. And let's change the tuning. No, that tuning was fine. Change the tuning of the... just a little quiet. But that's why we have a mixer. So I'll do a little mixing with that. Snare's a little loud. The open hi-hat, did I forget to put it in? Yes, I did. Pull it down. All right. Yeah, the tom's real quiet. Well, let's not worry about it so much. There's things that can be done about it. It's really more mixing here. Maybe a few other things, like when we put effects on things or something. But anyway, there we have our drum rhythm. Now, the thing that I want to do is envelope this. So I'm searching EG envelope gate, and I'm picking this. The envelope gate that comes with VCV Rack. And what I'm going to do is hook up its gate. Mouse. Don't do this to me. Come on. All right. Its gate. Oh, and the cable disappears on me. I have to zoom out. Sorry. All right. So let's do the gate from over here. See if we can get it. Oh, no. All right. I got a cable. I can move it. I wanted green, got blue, and on the wrong thing, but I got it. So there we go. Let's hook up that gate. That's our gate input. And what we're going to do is basically here have like a master output. I'm going to use the Bifaco channel strip. I'm going to type the word mixer, but there's a channel strip in Bifaco that's stereo that I think I will use for this. Because what I really need is like a VCA. Here it is. and basically have this control level. Now you can use the VCA from, what do you call it, VCV, but we might want to go stereo with this. Since our mixer is capable of it, we should use this to control it. So we want to go here for the level CV, which will control this level that's currently all the way down. And our left output from the mixer will go here. Let's take our right output from the mixer. Come on, stop fighting me. There we go. And then left and right out here goes into the left and right to the audio. So we basically have a master level separate from the mixer, because there's no level CV input for the master fader on the mixer itself. So there's no way to use the CV control from this gate to control the master out of the mixer itself. So we need to use a separate element. And so here we go. So now our gate is controlling this. Let's set the gate a little bit, but we can do that while the volume's up so we can hear it. The reason why the gate, we're not hearing anything, is the gate is closed because the keyboard is not pressed. Remember, we hooked it up to here. So let's press a key and we get drum beat. Now we pretty much want the drum beat to come in instantaneously, so we'll turn the attack all the way down and the release time all the way down, because we don't need it fading out. We just want it to go on, off, on, off. Now there's something else we need to do. In fact, we're going to get rid of the decay portion of the envelope and let everything be sustained. So it's more like, despite what you're seeing here, it's more of like an attack, sustain, release. Let's see here. But what we need to do also is hook this gate up. And I usually use green for gate. The blue there is because I was happy enough with what I got. What we want to do is hook this up to the reset here. So basically, this sequencer is going to be running the whole time as we have it set now. But each time we hit the key, it's going to reset to the beginning of this loop. So now I'm going to hit any key. There we go. Release. Hit key, release. Okay, one other problem. And this is something I had in a previous episode and I didn't catch myself with what I did. Unfortunately, by default, the patch that I saved as a default patch has this MIDI module set here to what we call polyphony, 3-note polyphony, and that's why I would have to hit it like 3 times before we get the gate. Put it on monophonic, or make sure you're on monophonic with your MIDI module. Then you can press a key, release it. Press a key, release it. Each time I hit it, I am getting the beginning. I'm getting a kick drum, but I'm not. I mean, it's resetting to the beginning, but you might be getting a little bit of something else. I'm going to see if I could turn this run button on and off with the gate. I'm not quite sure about that. I've tried things like this before, and it was like I had to hit the gate once and then again. All right, that turned it off. That turns it on. That turns it off. So yeah, each time I hit it, it just goes on and off, and we can't have that. We would just want it to be on each time. But maybe, since I have the reset hooked up here, is there a reset here? Yes, there is. Let's hook that up. So at least it resets the clock to be first pulse with first, slice of the beat here. Each time I hit the key, we're at the beginning of the pattern. And good, pretty much getting an instantaneous response. I know you don't see me pressing the keyboard, but I'm telling you, I'm getting an instantaneous response. And now what we can do, since we're hooked up stereo there, is a little bit of panning. If you're listening on a cell phone, you probably won't hear much of this if it's coming out the built-in speaker or the built-in speaker on a laptop. But if you're headphones or you got a good spaced pair of speakers, you'll be able to hear things being panned side to side. I'm going to put the open and close hi-hat in the same side. Although that doesn't really sound like a hi-hat. Well, it's modeling an electronic kit. So what do you... Just trying to get the... Oops. Alrighty. And basically, we could put our master above Unity just to try and get more out of it. All right, that sounds good to me. You have a 3-band EQ here if you want to work with it. But this set, the MindMeld set, also has EQs like that you could put on each channel through an insert, in fact, and so forth. That's something I am going to go over in my series, Learn Synthesis with VCV Rack, maybe in series 4. But let's continue with our mission today. Okay, we got a drum kit, and every time we press a key, it doesn't matter which key, we get the same pitch. But we want more than just that. We want a little bit of bass with it. I'm going to put it down here. Eventually slide it. Well, you know, maybe if I slide this over, we wouldn't have cables hanging over the bass. How about something like that, and try to fit all the bass stuff in here. Okay. Now let me see. I'm going to go with the Audible Instruments VCO, this macro oscillator here. I like the sound of a sound in here that I've used for this bass sound that I'm doing, but I'm going to couple it with... Oh, I could have left it there, just regular VCO. The sine wave from VCV Rack's VCO, but I'm going to put the sine wave down an octave, as I'm often wont to do. Okay. Now this one is going to need pitch, so we're going to take our volt per octave. I'm going to put it in here. But for the sine wave that we'll take out of here, we're going to pitch this down an octave. So I could just, from its initialized setting, type in divide 2. And then it gets it exactly down an octave. And then for this one, I'm going to select the sound that I like. X3. We could try some others and stuff, but that's the one I'm going to go with for now. And then these, I'll just mix together in the mixer itself. But I'm treating them as really one instrument, but I can at least mix the sine component along with the X3 component, which is square wave-ish, a little bit special. Oh, actually, not yet. We're going to put some filtering on these. Excuse me. Well, we don't necessarily need the filtering on the sine wave, but we're going to definitely filter the square wave here. They'll be playing the same note, but let's see here. VCF, and then I'm looking for from Audible Instruments as well. This filter right here. All right. There you go with the red, white, and blue. So we're going to put a audio out from here, in here, and then we're going to do the low pass output. There's two low passes. We'll compare them in a moment. We're going to actually take some time to work with this cutoff, but this is a cutoff frequency, and this is going to go into channel 8. This is a low pass filter, and we're going to use the cutoff frequency as an effect. We do need the pitch coming in here as well. Come on. And there we go. Now the gate is on the overall envelope of both sounds, the percussion and the bass coming out of this mixer. You see they're coming full volume. But these will also be gated by here, because I'm going to put these in these tracks. Now here's a point where you have options. If you want a multi-note bass line that you hold down one key and it plays different notes, then you want to work with an arpeggiator or another sequencer other than this that gives you that functionality. This is just giving you gates. So I want it to just play whatever bass note I'm holding down, and then it'll, it'll go from there. I will, however, be working on doing other stuff as well with it in the future. So this project goes on. Oh, that's right. Let's get an envelope for this, why don't we? So we're going to have a separate envelope for this sound that we're going to pop right here. Now, I'm going to see if we could take the two outputs and put them on these two channels here, because here we have level inputs. So we can envelope this sound right here. This is the X3 sound with its filter. And then this channel let's see if we can pop it on here too. Yep, is the sine wave. Both are going to be controlled by this envelope, which is going to go with it's receiving its gate from up here, this channel called aux1. That'll be our bass, and I'm going to make our bass a repeating 16th note type of thing. But how about let's see how that sounds. All right. I'm not hearing it opening and closing. The gate is here, and it's going down here. Let's make sure the envelope as a quick attack, let's get rid of the K and make sure the release isn't all that long. Now I'm also concerned about the mixing. It's only coming in left side here. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, it's just holding out. Looks like the right, look at these channels. Why is there... Oh, look at my gates. They're on the right channel. The right audio channel, not the level CV, where they should be. That would explain it. There we go. Now that's too quick. You hear that? That's the bass. There we go. All right. Now I want to use, first of all, pitch bend. I'm going to bend up. It's basically, it's not bending as far as I would like. So there is a pitch bend option when you right click on the MIDI input. Pitch bend range, I'm going to put it to 2 octaves. Why don't we try 3? I didn't try that before. Let's see what that sounds like. Might be too much. Too much. Yeah. What I've set before was 2 octaves, and that's what I want. And every time you hit the key, let's change. When I'm jamming like that, I should zoom out. Okay. There we go. Let's zoom out a bit. All right, now what I also want to do is be able to use the mod wheel to affect the cutoff frequency here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to set resonance to the way I want it. I've played with this before, and in order to figure it out, we do have to. I'm going to work with the white knob, lower it so we can hear our cutoff. And then I'm going to turn up red. I like it right around there. Or actually there. Right there in the middle. Then work with the blue knob. Right there, all the way down to the negative polarity. And now I'm going to hook this up here so the cutoff can be adjusted by using the mod wheel. Of course, my mouse has other ID. All right, here we go. And this one I intended to be blue. I usually intend that for MIDI stuff. But anyway, the cables we got hooked up are the cables we have hooked up. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. And now we're going to hear this. I'm going to move the mod wheel over from 0 to all the way up. I'm not hearing much change over the second half of it. It's only in the first half. I mean, you're not seeing it, but trust me, when it gets static there, it's only in the first half. So, you know, we're not getting much range. Let's try it halfway. Not as much. Let's turn this down. Now, if you've got right about there, that's where I begin. The cutoff is cutting off too much. Remember, our sine wave is coming through without going through the filter. But this is being cut off right around here. That's pretty cool. I like that sound. It needs to stand out a bit more. It'd be cool to pass it through a compressor, but I haven't found my compressor of choice yet in this. Let me just turn its fader up. All right, that sounds pretty well balanced. Right about there. The red knob makes it stick out a bit. That's resonance. But we could turn up the sine also. All right, when I'm zoomed in and I try to adjust a knob or a fader, you know, the screen actually goes a little bit haywire. I am sorry about that. But there we go. I don't know. I'm still not quite. I'm still playing with the red, the resonance, and the stuff here. Now we also have some knobs here on the macro oscillator itself to adjust some stuff like timbre. I like that. Now when the filter cutoff is down, like I have the mod wheel down, we're not hearing this so much anymore. That's with the mod wheel up. But I dig that bass, especially if you're listening to it on headphones, it's good. All right, I think we're going to put this guy in on mod wheel 2. Let's see if we can get a cable. If my mouse will give me a cable. Hey, there. All right, now. Let's see what we can get with color here. And that is going to go on mod wheel as well. I'm doing this differently than the one I did, before that I opened with. This is going to be different. But these are all different things you could play with to get your sound the way you want it. Now it's mouse time. Oh, for crying out loud. Don't do this to me, mouse. All right. There we go. Zoom out. Now let's hear how this transforms. That's a pitch wheel. That's me moving the mod wheel back and forth. Yeah, trance, man. 90s trance. Oh, those good old days. Oh, well. One other thing I had done before that I'm going to try here. Now, I did this with a different envelope. But let's see how it goes here. Let's hook up the release time to our mod wheel also. Come on, mouse. There we go. There we go. So now our release time will extend with our mod wheel as much as we adjust it here with this. Now mod wheel's down. Now I turn it up. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, I mean, you can choose all sorts of parameters that you want to have on the mod wheel. So let me show you one more thing that is pretty cool that you can do with this sequencer. And that is, let's say we like this pattern, but we want to vary it up for the next thing. So you can do a copy, and then you can go up here, arrow up to 2, which is now blank. Oh, I would suggest you turn off the sequencer first. Turn off the run. Then go up to 2, and then we can paste. And right, so we have basically our first measure twice. Now let's try this. Instead, we're going to do like 4 hits of this on the tom. And let's see, yeah, let's have like 2 hits of the hi-hat there, and turned off the closed hi-hat for this beat. And actually, if I have that closed hi-hat playing at the same time on measure 1, I want to turn that off. Close hi-hat not at the same time as the open hi-hat. Okay, so now we can turn this back on, and then we press our key, and what we're going to do is arrow up here in this second slot right here. Sorry, sometimes my mouse cursor disappears if I'm zoomed out. So here, the second slot is going to get 2, and now we should hear. Cycle is on, that's looping, but we should be hearing 2 measures. It is switching to 2. Let's turn it off and just double check. Maybe the differences aren't enough for us to really make a big difference. Yeah, this looks like 1 as I want it. And then let's go to 2. Make this ending a little bit more emphasized. Yeah, those tom hits never did stand out, so that might be the problem. Let's double up on these here a little bit. Let's see, just to hear it, you know. Yeah, there's a difference. That shaker is sticking out more than the tom. All right, and so it saves with the patch. Let's take a snapshot of this for the episode. I think my cables are sagging a little low there, But I'm going to show you my other patch now that you see the construction of it. I'll show you the other one just so we can compare. I kind of, for some reason, like the other one a little bit better. But this is basically the same approach in building them. Of course, what I'm going to do now is explore also more drum samples and, well, not samples, but drum modules and other things to see what I can make, and maybe use an arpeggiator on the bass or something. Now, the issue there is this only works well with the gate opening and closing the drum kit and bass sound. It only works well on monophonic, so I may not be able to use some arpeggiators because they're polyphonic in that they need to receive those 4 notes at the same time in order to arpeggiate them out in a monophonic fashion. But they need to receive them polyphonically in a lot of cases, a lot of them. But some of them, maybe you can set like architectures to them. And I'm going to explore and look to see if you could have some that you can set like intervals within a certain mode or key, so that you don't have to worry about when you're doing patterns that when you're starting from a different bass note, those same intervals make you out of key. You know what I mean? I'm going to see if there's modal ones. I believe there are. After some brief looks with the VCV Rack library, I believe there are, but I need to explore it more. If you have any insight in on it, please leave a comment. Please leave a comment in any case, man. Thank you, Marty, for being so supportive and doing so, and thank you, Luis. This has been a very rewarding mission. People that join me now early on in the life of this channel, I won't forget it later if this channel grows. Those who came in at the ground floor, I'm not going to forget you. Okay, so I wanted to name that something different. Than what I named it. Oh, I mean, you know. What did I name? I named it episode 04B. No, that's what I wanted to name it. So this one I'm going to rename later to episode 4A, but let me load this guy. Oh, no. I'm not saving this time. I want opening. Save. Okay. Open. I'm going to open episode 4 and I'm going to rename it to episode 4A later. But like, this is the first one I made, and things are laid out a little differently. I have the bass up here, mixer's still down here, but this is the envelope for the mixer. Oh, and I have also here some delay on everything. We're still using X3, but without the sine wave, and it's just going in through the filter. I'm not bothering with any toms here. It's a different rhythm in the bass line. And I have the mod wheel controlling the sustain using this envelope generator. It's still an ADSR, just like the envelope generator in VCV Rack, but it, you know, its values may be a little bit different. So when the cutoff goes up and starts ripping there, somehow it just sounds more deadly on this one. I mean, I like it better. I'm also coming out bandpass instead of low pass. That might be a difference. Plus we have a little bit of reverb on it. And so that's the main differences between this one and the one I just built with you. Yeah, I mean, I did. I'm just grooving on this one better. But I mean, that's the principles, and you know, you make something really cool. Share it with me. Let me know. Tell me in the comments section. We can check it out and stuff. Especially early on in this channel, there's just the right amount of people that are like connecting with me right now that I can keep up with it, and I won't forget you. Those of you getting early on in this channel's growth, that you're here sticking with me and communicating and really helping this channel grow. I'm not going to forget you. So in any case, let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you have some suggestions, or you come up with something really cool. You can contact me through my website via email, but also leave a comment. It helps these videos get seen, and I'm really trying to grow the channel, so please. Any interaction helps. But until next time, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And until then, take care and stay free.